What's up guys, Carl here, and today I'm going to be reviewing the Oreimo OVAs, episodes 14 through 16, as well as giving a non-spoiler review of the entire season. So let's get started. So I want to start off by saying I really enjoyed Oreimo. It was an anime that I looked forward to every week in a season full of anime that I didn't find particularly strong. We didn't have any Evangelions, I guess. There were a few memorable ones. Snafu is one of them, as well as Valvrave, which I am looking forward to the second season of Valvrave, which is coming fall. But Oreimo was one that I watched the season one of, and okay. I like season one better than season two, simply because I like the ending of season one better than season two's ending. I feel that if they ended it at season one and didn't even make a season two, that the anime would have been remembered in a much higher regard than it is now. So the problem with this anime is the endings, especially the OVAs. The OVAs were particularly, I'm not fond of them. So I'm gonna go ahead and give the overall season, season one and season two, as well as including the OVAs, a 7 out of 10. But the OVAs themselves, I'm going to give a 5 out of 10. And that pretty much concludes the non-spoiler review. So if you don't want to hear any spoilers and you don't want to hear, because I can't really go into detail about why I didn't like the OVAs, but if you really don't care about spoilers, then keep watching. If not, then I'm sorry. Like, comment, subscribe, favorite, all that good jazz. So let's get started. So it opens with Kyosuke rejecting Ayase's proposal or confession, and that's something that pissed me off in season two. I love Ayase. I'm an Ayase fag. I'll admit it. I don't care. But I have to remember, and we all have to remember, that this anime is not real. In real life, Kyosuke probably would have accepted Ayase's love. I don't know who wouldn't. I don't know of any guy that would take his little sister over Ayase. It's just kind of creepy. But remembering that this is an anime, I'm willing to look over that, and I'm fine with that. So he rejects Ayase, and then he goes and he rejects Kaneko, or however you pronounce it. I can't remember. I'm so sorry. This is pretty unprofessional, but it's an anime review. How professional can you get? So he rejects Kaneko. And I'm okay with that. I know a lot of people are probably upset that he rejected Kaneko because a lot of people really liked Kaneko. I'm not one of them. So after he does that, he goes and he asks Ayase on a date. It's not really a date. It's not the word I would use. I guess a brother-sister bonding time, I would rather call it, than a date. But so they go and do that. And then he proposes to her. But first she runs away and there's this like long chase scene. It's kind of just fillery. But so he proposes to her and she says yes. And she when they go back to their hotel room to play eroge, of course, right? That's what all newlywed couples do. They play eroge together. She whispers something, and this is going to come back later, and this is what pissed me off the most. But so moving on to episode 15. They're the second episode in the OVAs. So during this episode, Kyosuke basically learns about that Kirino has had this love for him for a long time. She opens this photo album and she shows him all these pictures that she's had of him, and she shows him, she makes him listen to these recordings that she made when she was in elementary school, and again when she was kind of struggling with Monami, which you saw in the ending of season 2, which also was rather weak, to be honest. And that's basically the episode. And then moving on to episode 16, this would have been what made this series for me if it didn't end the way it did. So it starts off, Kyosuke and Kirino, and it goes kind of like back and forth, right? Like, he's talking to people, and they're saying, we aren't really sure how to feel about this, but we'll accept it. We're happy for you, but we can't really be happy for you. And they're basically sugarcoating, saying that this isn't right. And that all comes to fruition when Kirino meets Monami. Monami is Kyosuke's childhood friend, and she's in love with Kyosuke, and she wants to be with Kyosuke, and she's essentially jealous of Kirino, of what Kirino has. So Kirino and Monami start fighting, and this scene was so good. Like, it's a really good scene, and if they had ended it, it probably would have been remembered by me for a really long time. So Monami punches Kirino in the stomach, and it was just great. I had a good laugh. I had a giggle, mate. But it's fantastic, honestly. And then it ends with Monami just storming off because best girl Kirino won. I say it's best girl, but whatever. Best girl always wins, right? So after that, they get married, right? And you think, this is great. I'm fine with this. I'm okay with this. Best girl won. They're getting married. They're going to live a happy life. They're probably going to move to America and hide the fact that they're brother and sister. And then it cuts to the scene where Kirino whispered to Ayase. Not Ayase, but to Kyosuke. Same shit. Not really. That's bad to say. But... And essentially, it was just a reset. And this pissed me off so much. You just copped out. Why would you do that? Like, so they just find out that they were only going to do this until they graduated. Like, and this really, really pissed me off. If you're going to do that, go for a solid ending. We know they still have feelings for each other. And in the light novel, we know that they end up doing it. Or not doing it, but they followed through. And it just pisses me off that they did a reset. These are OVAs, right? These weren't aired on television. You didn't have to do the reset. But I will credit them with sticking as close to the light novel as possible, and I guess trying to satisfy as most people as possible, because I feel that the general consensus is that people are satisfied with the ending. I'm not, because I personally feel it's a cop-out, and I really like strong endings. I like my endings to be, this anime ends this way, and nothing is going to change. But there's still a lot of lingering feelings. Saori Vagina, what kind of name is that, though? Is still out there. We don't know what happens with her and Kyosuke. We don't know if Kyosuke gets with another girl. We don't know any of these things, and it makes me mad. If you're gonna go for your sister wholeheartedly. Like, so that's why I didn't like the OVAs. Just episode 16 ruined the OVAs, to be perfectly honest. Episode 14 was good. Episode 15 was good. Episode 16 was great up until the end. And I feel that if they had not copped out, this anime probably would have been regarded much more highly than it was. And I probably would remember it for much longer than I'm going to. But that's Oreimo. The OVAs episode 14 through 16. Thank you for watching. Like, comment, subscribe. Don't actually, just comment, subscribe. Don't subscribe, just comment. I just want to know. I just want to have feedback. So, thank you for watching. It's been Carl. Keep it cool, guys.